Hi, good Erev Shabbos, Parshas Kesovoi, the week of, we're going to be saying Slichas Matzah Shabbos, and we're in El. El, I remember still in yeshiva times, my Rosh Yeshiva Zechron Avrucha used to say, El, he used to say it in Yiddish, the fish in Wasser zittern, that means the fish in the water are trembling. However, some people have the impression, and they say El, oily, vily, that meaning it's a broken time, it's like a sad time, it's like something that a lot of fear, and the fear is taking them over and they can't even come back to the tshuva that it needs to be done in El. El, therefore, the way we know from the Chassidim and the Talmid al-Hashem Tov, is Ani ledoidi v'doidi li. Hashem is saying, I am your friend and I'm trying to befriend you. Be my friend. If you look at it from that perspective, it's a totally different perspective. I definitely am compassionate to the ones who are feeling the fear, but the fear is also overwhelming them and not getting to the place of tshuva. And let's talk what tshuva is and what it's supposed to mean. As far as, like I mentioned, the way my Rosh Yeshiva used to say that the fish in the water are trembling, so I was thinking of a pshat, meaning of that. What that means is, that's, it came to my mind that Hashem gave me this saying that fish always come up when it rains for new water. Why are they coming up for new water if they're in the water the whole time? Hashem is showing us the nature of a person, the nature of, in general, of creation. We're always looking for something new. I, as well, was realizing it to myself. Sometimes you want to buy new clothing, you want to buy a new pair of glasses, a new pair of shoes, and then, for what? Because you want to make a statement, you want to feel good. But if you're coming from a different perspective, that you are good and meaningful before all of that nature, that is not what's going to make an impression. If somebody has a new car, that's not what's really making the impression. It's not that you shouldn't have the new car, it's not that you shouldn't have the new product, the new piece of jewelry, but it depends from which perspective and what your statement you're trying to do. We see this week's Parsha, Parshas Kesovoi, is about bringing righteous, everything that is your first of the crop, your first of, that is always Kaddish Likol B'choi, the first of firstborn, everything of the first, because that is the nature that a person likes, the first child, the first crop, which we know that was the livelihood of once upon a time from people. We have to stand it deeper. Or the first, anything that was the first, we gave to Hashem. So, and we say in this week's Parsha, we see, what will we say? We say the Parsha of Lavan, that he wanted to destroy us and everything. He didn't like us. He didn't like Yaakov. And he had a lot of animals and a lot of crop and a lot of sheep and a lot of everything. But he was saying everything is mine. There's no God, Hashem. There's no Hashem. There's no nothing. And he was selfish. But the idea with the first, the same thing has happened by Cain and Hevel. He brought from not from the best crop, and he brought from the best. And that's the way we know. Hashem says, the whole idea from this week's Parsha in the beginning, when we talk about bringing the Bakirim, which is the first, is to show Hashem and to tell Hashem, everything is yours, even to whatever I love. B'chol me'oidchut means with all your money, with all, whatever you have, this is the way I'm loving you. It's not that I am existing because I have this, or I want this. I'm existing because the part of Hashem is in me. So getting back to El, and as you see also, it's a time of song. That's why you're hearing, I also opened up some music, because we're going to say, L'shmoya el arinu ve'latfilu. Hashem wants us to come, but in a manner of singing. And we are singing. And we are not the singers, we are the song. Because Yisrael is the same words as Shirel, song. Hashem says, you are my song, sing for me. And Raishis, we know Bereishis, Hashem created the world. B'shvil Yisrael, b'shvil HaTorah. He gave us a Torah, and that's our connection. So talking about tshuva, people think that tshuva means you did who knows the biggest sins. First of all, tshuva is broken down in the Rambam in different categories. There's vidu, and there's charata, and then there's tshuva. First of all, people shouldn't confuse. Charata means regret and not guilt. There's no guilt by Jews. There's no guilt. That's not a Jewish thing to be guilty. There's not even a word in Hebrew of the word guilty. Charata, yes, meaning I regret. That is, when we say regular tshuva and we daven in Shemoneh Esrei daily, haroitziv is tshuva. The only thing that Hashem wants is tshuva. But tshuva, let's say something. What did I do? No. We came down on this world to correct ourselves. If we know in the Kabbalistic terms, we are here to bring back the lost sparks. That's it. That is the reason why we're here. Everybody. And usually the lost sparks is by the parts that you don't like. Meaning there is, you are what you hate. Meaning your enemies, your things, your black stuff that you have in your back pocket. That is where you have to clean up the lost sparks. And that's what we hear. If you know in Kabbalah what the lost sparks is, starting from Modern Mission, that's what we're here for. That's a different teaching but about the lost sparks. But this is really what we're here for, if you know it or if you don't know it. But in everything we have to rectify and create. Now, it doesn't mean that you sinned a lot. It means that, for example, if somebody, let's say, even eats healthy because he wants to be healthy in order to daven for Hashem, tefillah, that's what Hashem wants, is also part of tshuva. Or coming to Hashem and saying, and just, we want to connect, what we see this week's parsha, Ledavka boy, to connect to Hashem. We see the main thing of Torah and the 613 mitzvahs is to connect to Hashem. It's not just about putting on film. It's not just about lighting candles. It's about connecting to Hashem. This is what Hashem, He wants us. He wants us. So that's what tshuva is. And people, the reason why we always look, I was thinking righteous, we always look for something new, is actually it's our soul looking for Hashem. And we think that we want the mundane stuff. That's the way the Rabbi of Pesachna says. If someone comes home at night after eating dinner and had a full day and is still looking for food, he says, think, what is the food that you're really hungry or your soul is hungry? And if you do that, you'll see that you're really hungry for something else. And sometimes it's hard to differentiate if it's your body or if it's your soul. And your soul it yearns to Hashem, and Hashem yearns to us. And that's what Elul means, connecting to Hashem. And once we do it from a deep place and a deep level, then definitely we don't come to sin, and we don't come to anything but Hashem, and we don't forget about Him. Even when we do things in business, or we do our things that we like, which Hashem wants us, because the idea with righteous is the first one. Hashem wants you to have, and wants you to give, but He says, and that is the reason why He created the world, that the world should be, that you should, toiv lahaytev, it says, les anek, and He wants to live here in the mundane place with all of that. Our search is to search for Hashem in this month. And righteous means also that this is the beginning of the year. El, we think not Tishri, the next month. It's really starting now, is the preparation to beginning. And Hashem, every beginning is a loving time. So Hashem says, this is my loving time and I love you, come back to me. And the way we say, in David the Melech says in Tehillim, Yismach leiv mevakshe Hashem, the heart is happy in this when he looks for Hashem. And you know what? Dirshi Hashem means keep on talking from Hashem. Bakshi fonov tomet. It doesn't mean that you're going to grasp something, but in the search itself, that's where happiness is. Have a wonderful Shabbos and a great slicha upcoming on this Motzei Shabbos.